Man, hope everybody's having a blessed day. Looking, obey, and move. Yahweh will provide a way. Man, I tell you that those three things will be fundamental in you receiving answers, you receiving what's for you getting understanding, you being blessed. And I'm going to talk about something today that a lot of people, may not think about, but money in itself is a resource. And that resource can do a lot of things. Can take you to a lot of dark places, and it can take you to a lot of good places. But oftentimes we default to choosing the best financial option that we feel or we think is right. And that's not always what, is the Most High Yah's plan for your life. Oftentimes, we might pray for things that aren't in alignment with how he wants to bless us. And I don't think I've talked about this on this story, on this YouTube. So y'all know what time it is, man. It's another cardio session. And we'll drop a little wisdom on you. Reason I work out, for anybody wondering why I am always working out in thermals, long sleeves, hoodies. It's not to hide anything, but it is to perspire, to sweat. You look at the benefits of sweating, has a lot of health benefits, and a lot of this stuff that we eat oftentimes puts a lot of toxins in the body, and sweating is one of those great benefits to cleanse your pores. So if I had a sauna, I would sit in it, frequently. But since I don't, man, I have always had a routine of, wearing long sleeves, hoodies, layering up when I do my cardio to maximize, perspiration, maximize sweating. But a little backstory on pray, look and listen, obey and move, Yahweh will provide. So before I moved to the state that I live in now, I'll tell you, man, I was making $20,000 to $25,000 more on my job in the military due to location, due to the position I was in, broadening assignment, and me moving to this location has opened so many doors and made the path that I'm supposed to be walking in, and for me to be taking my family on, it's made it so clear. I've met so many people, or several influential people, that if I would have kept going the way that I was going, according to my own will, man, I would have never come across these people. And some of these people are once in a lifetime. If you choose the wrong path, you miss out on it. And I received a lot of messages that have shaped my walk, that I know for a fact the way I was walking, the people that I associate with, I would have never got the message from them. You know, Ock Pierce over at 2 Be Blessed on YouTube. Man, that is the first time in my military career that I have met somebody actually walking in truth, worshiping in spirit and truth, you know, and not just giving lip service. And that's done wonders. Wonders for my walk, helping me acknowledge and be able to spot out truth from deception and lies. But, man, I remember when we were looking for a location to move, man, I had a lot of other options on the table that would have been more financially lucrative according to my job. Everything in my flesh wanted to go that way. But praying, fasting, you know, looking out, listening for signs that show you, okay, listening for the voice, okay, where do you want me to go? Man, that's what we did. And with the math looking the way it looked, $20,000 or $25,000 less, your flesh is gonna be, man, how is that math gonna math? Didn't make sense. Yahweh wants you to know, don't worry about the math. Let him handle that. You know, there's been several people that I've come into the knowledge of that have walked away from what they thought was the best option, only to walk through the door that the Most High Yahweh wanted you to walk through, and have slowly but surely gained true freedom. You know, the Covenant Homestead on YouTube, shout out to that brother. You know, just listen to videos where he's talked about corporate America doing well, and the average person, you know, that you come across that's religious would tell you, man, don't leave that, you know, leave that good money. Go where the money is. But we never think about where does the Most High Yah want us. You know, and I tell you, man, for a pay cut, $20,000 to $25,000, you know, I tell you, man, when you're praying, fasting, looking and listening, man, make sure you obey and move, because you might miss your blessing. You might miss what's for you, you know, trying to get what you want out of life. Man, we was able to get out of an HOA neighborhood, didn't want us growing food, you know, all kind of walking abominations, walking up and down the street. Was able to get away from the houses being 8 feet apart. One house catch on fire, the whole street going up in a blaze. You know, we was able to move out on a homestead, purchase land, be able to return to the old paths, just learn the ways of the book of the agricultural people, you know, be able to have a system in place, starting a business to where we could free ourselves, you know, when the time is right, from this system, and have something that will be established. Man, if you would have asked me then, if you would have set me down and said, hey, man, this is what the Most High has planned for you if you follow him, man, I wouldn't have believed you. I'd have been like, ain't no way that he gonna turn this into that. And that's the complete opposite, man. The testimony is he did all that and more, and is still doing more. But, when you're praying for something, where do you want me to go? Man, for a second, when you hear where it is he wants you to go, it may not look pretty to you. When I was in South Carolina, not only was I working in the homeless shelters and doing things in there, but man, sometimes he would lead me under bridges, needle infested areas, and it didn't look pretty. I was like, boy, this look rough, So where he wants you to go, it's going to be an experience. It's going to be a journey. And even though the bigger picture is you will be blessed, don't always think that initially it's just supposed to be sunshine, rainbows. There's going to be some trials, some tribulations, but Yahweh will make a way. He will make a way. And those trials and tribulations early on is just to make sure you're ready to receive what he's really about to give you. What the understanding that he's about to lay upon you, to make sure you're in the frame of mind to encounter and come across the people that, the messengers that he wants to put in front of you, i.e., the book calls them angels. I tell you, man, if I would have went the way I wanted to go, without asking the Most High Yah, man, I wouldn't have met so many influential, brothers walking in truth, commandment keepers, Torah observers. A lot of this stuff that you see on this channel and both your channels, man, I would have been still in Christendom, still keeping them worldly holidays, not keeping none of the Most High Yah feast days. Man, I would have been still keeping Sunday, and biggest part is when we obeyed, we got an answer of where we needed to go and what we needed to do to make it happen. Man, it was like clockwork. Everything worked out the way that it was supposed to. And oftentimes, your fear and doubt will creep in, and you won't be able to praise him the way that he expects based upon what he's doing because you're moving in doubt. So when you pray for guidance, for understanding, for wisdom, you need to look and listen out for it. Sometimes you'll get a sign. Sometimes you'll get a message. Sometimes you'll get confirmation with multiple signs, short period of time, and you're like, hey, there's a message in it. I've seen this same thing 2 or 3 times. Sometimes you'll get a message from somebody, random people, strangers. Hey, man, I just want to tell you blank, blank, blank. You like, wait a minute. I done heard that 2 times, 3 times, 4 times in the past week. Look, listen. And then once you get that message, that confirmation, man, obey and move out. That's the path of least resistance. Oftentimes when we don't do that, what ends up happening is we end up causing more trials and tribulations upon ourselves. You might walk into a situation where it's more money, but it's more stress. There's more pressures to get you to bend over, and fold, sell your soul. So I tell you, man, you might be looking at some of these situations, not seeing the blessing in it initially. And if he were to tell you up front what he was going to do in your life, you wouldn't believe it no ways. So remember that. Remember, pray, okay? Look and listen, obey and move out. You got people getting messages all the time of which way they need to go, but because they don't obey and move out, but instead they go with the way of their flesh, man, their path is not straightened, you know? And that's what I want to drive home. So I hope I said something today to edify you, you know, to get you to actually, man, even when the cards look like they're against you, man, trust in Yahweh. Trust in Abba. You know, he's not going to fail you. Some of the stuff that your flesh wants is not a necessity. And the Most High Yah says he will never forsake you, never leave you, says he'll provide for you. And sometimes our mind be on this stuff of this world, and we try to shape the path that we want to go based upon what we want, based upon the money, the dollar signs, the zeros. But if you follow his will, man, there's going to be so much understanding, so much spiritual growth, so much deliverance. You know, you're going to truly meet some brethren and sit. I had no idea. Shout out to Set Apart Gardens. You know, if you're not checking out that channel, Set Apart Gardens on YouTube, check them out. I had no idea that there were so many people, and the book says, you know, that the lost sheep of the house of Israel, they've been scattered. Man, and I had no idea that there's so many lost sheep that's actually walking in the ways because it's not what's portrayed on TV and movies, news. We don't hear nothing about that. And they're actually out there. Shout out to the brother, Set Apart Gardens. You know, there's so many of our people, and when I say I'm talking about so many, I'm talking about the remnant that you may think, man, I'm the only one in my city like this. Now, it may not be a mega church worth, but I guarantee you, man, you can find 2 or 3 if you're searching for it. But because we have come out of, you know, world religion, we expect everything's supposed to be mega. You know, we want 1,000 brethren that's walking in religion, not realizing the Most High Yah may only be putting 1 or 2 brothers, 1 or 2 sisters, and his word proves it. Word tells you that amongst 1,000 people, there was only 1 righteous man, no women. So we got to make sure our expectations are in line, so we're not turning off the path looking for something that ain't gonna never be there. Not in truth, it won't. But man, if you trust in Yahweh, no matter how it look, I mean, it can look ugly. It can look like, you could say, man, it look like I'm going backwards. That's how it's gonna look sometimes. And what looks backwards to you, to your flesh, 5 steps backwards, maybe 50 steps forward spiritually, and you can't see it. Hey, shout out, we got little sis Atria in the house. Shout out to you. Hope you have a blessed day, sister. You know, another one comes to these relationships. Man, your flesh gonna take you one way. Ruach HaKodesh gonna take you somewhere else. You've been praying for this kingdom spouse, praying for your Yah-fearing husband or wife. Man, when he presents it to you, you've been praying, you've been waiting. When he presents it to you, don't expect it to be packaged like the rest of the world. Don't expect it to be in the same packaging. You know, see, the Most High Yah has got a wow factor the way he works. You may not say wow initially to what he puts in front of you, but you give it a little bit of time, you say, whoo, man, y'all will send me somebody that actually got the grace to deal with me. Somebody that's merciful. Somebody that can show me a true reflection of who I am so I can see that and want to be better. Oftentimes we want it to be packaged up to what the world, you know, has going. And when you're doing that and walking in your ways, you're going to miss out every time on what he has for you, you know, because we want something, this flesh wants something that's packaged on the outside nicely. You know, you be like, whoa, that's it. And most of y'all be like, no, that ain't for you. No. What I got over here got a couple dents and bruises in it. But you know what? I put a spirit in that person, that woman or that man, to where they could long suffer. They got the fruit of the spirit. They coming into the relationship with peace. They coming into the relationship with joy. That way they got their own and they don't have to try to survive off of you. You know, that's that leader. This is the leader I want you, because all men leading ain't good leaders. You know, this is the man that I want you to submit your life to, and he's leading you according to my will. This is the helpmeet that you've been praying for. Don't reject her. This is the daughter of Zion I want you with. And she's going to show you the true strength of a woman, you know, coming from the rib. Rib protects vital organs, protects your vessel. Man, oftentimes we want to go the other way. Oh, no, that don't look like what I want. That ain't what I asked for. He putting it right in front of you, what you need. And, man, your flesh, you know, being sinful will allow Hasatan to exploit all of the joy, all of the praise, all of the honor, and you being blessed, and you can't even see it. You can't even receive it. So pray, look and listen. Look and listen. Open your eyes. Look around. You know, and what is for you is, man, it's like multiple choice. You got three answers that all look the same. They look appealing, and then you got that one that just, man, that one stand out. But it stands out in a peculiar way. Man, oftentimes that's the way you should go. You know, you get a lot of honor after you done been through something. And man, many years in Christendom, praying, asking him, he was answering, but I went the way I wanted to go. That's why you got a lot of failures, why you got a lot of life lessons that have to be learned the hard way due to a hard head and stubbornness. Man, with everything going on in the world, you might be praying for something better, something that's going to allow you to be in proper alignment with the Most High Yah. And when he answers you, when he gives you confirmation through message, through a sign, you know, through the Ruach HaKodesh, don't get bougie on Yahweh. Don't get bougie on him. You know, he may have it to where you doggone got this nice situation that you think is nice, but ain't allowing you to walk in the ways. And what he's got to you, it don't look nice, but it allows you freedom. Allows you freedom to walk in his ways, you know. So, once again, pray, look, listen, obey, move out. Close to the Yah Ministries, kicking it gun, barrel straight.